Well, welcome. Here today we are with Marco. Marco, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Marco, and I I'm Coptic Orthodox, and that's the reason. One of the reasons why I was interested in Greek was specifically to be able to read the New Testament in its original language. That's what got me into the whole idea of wanting to learn Greek and so on.
Very good. And so you started almost from scratch, and
Yeah.
now you're one of the few people to make it through all of Athanadze, which isn't designed specifically for New Testament Greek. But how are you finding reading Greek now? Where are you at?
It's definitely a lot easier. At this point, I find that what I do have and what I have learned is basically how to be able to tackle anything that I don't understand. Like I feel like I have the resources and I have the tools and I have the methods and the techniques that would help me at least be able to learn or be able to read something that I'm interested in reading. So for example, let's take the example of the New Testament, which was my original goal. If I want to read something in the New Testament and I'm going through it and I find one verse that's a little bit tricky to understand, or I'm not familiar with the grammatical tense in it, I know at least what to look in, how to find what the verb means and where to find what, and that automatically just boils down to, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, this was this was something that we've crossed in Athanadze, I don't know, chapter this or chapter that. And this by its own has been is probably where I stand right now. I definitely don't think I'm in a state of being able to read anything fluently right away. I doubt that anyone would be there at all, but I definitely, where I am at this point, I'm very satisfied and definitely would want to improve.
Good, good. What was one of the biggest challenges for you, would you say?
One of
challenges or surprises, maybe.
Challenges or surprises? Yeah, I actually maybe surprises. Challenges, maybe challenges was, or a surprise, maybe it was in the beginning, the very beginning when we first started getting into this. So the first class I took was offline. It wasn't live because it was scheduled through another institution at first, but then I went on to study with the live classes with you. So the ones that I took offline were so interesting because I went into them like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, this is the first time I ever learn a language offline, not even in person. I was like, this must be something very interesting, and I'm very curious. And I was very surprised to see how much progress we've managed to do with offline classes. It was fantastic, and that was actually a very pleasant surprise on my end. And it really made me enjoy the class. It really made me enjoy the immersive experience. What I loved the most about it was the fact that it was very immersive. It was not like any other language that I've attempted to learn at all. It was actually very immersive, go straight into reading and learning and getting to things and readings that are practical, and getting to even though it was offline, I was reading along. I was saying all the words. I would sometimes pause and try to repeat a sentence, and then I would play it again to make sure that so all that whole idea and those techniques, I guess, which you've encouraged in those videos, are the reason why I felt, oh my God, I'm making progress, even though it was just 2-3 months. And that was the reason why I got in touch afterwards, wanting to expand on that. So I guess, yeah, that was, I wouldn't say it was a challenge as much as it was a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah, good. Always pleasing to hear. Well, those classes now have a live component as well. I'm glad to say those other ones managed to corral students into the same time slot. My other question then would be, for someone who's thinking of studying with me, what sort of words of advice, what can they expect? Or
great question. Yeah, so words of advice is to follow your advice. Honestly, you give us like really useful advice, and whenever I follow them, I find that I actually do make good progress. Like there are many times that you would advise us, for example, to transcribe or write something down, and when I actually do that, I find myself remembering and retaining tricky vocabulary better. So this has been something that has been definitely always useful, and getting to learn from your experience has always been very good in that domain. And generally speaking, what I would say is just enjoy the journey. Treat, as you would always say to us, and this has become something that I treat anything that I'm interested in learning, specifically language related. Don't look at it as a rigid memorization table. This is this is I am, you are, he is, she. This is a little bit archaic, and it doesn't go too far, and it gets too boring, too easy, too fast. And I, like, for example, I'll be very honest. I long time ago, when I was younger, when I was substantially younger, I've studied French for many years. My French is okay right now, but it's just basic functionality. And I find that the progress that I've managed to do in exactly a year in Greek has been a lot better and a lot faster and a lot more concrete, and being able to read and even speak basic conversational phrases. So yeah, so that's definitely, I guess, the advice that I would give to anyone who's interested in taking your courses and learning from you.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a great pleasure to have you in classes for the last year. It's always exciting to see someone come from right from the start and then see where they end up, particularly at this point where, like you said, you're equipped to tackle things on your own. Even though there's always more to learn, but to have that set of tools. Thanks for sharing with us today.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and thank you for all your efforts.